All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. We're gonna check its local and its city search and see if it's got BSS, things like that. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned post, pinned video somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. And as a result, we got our FSIC graph here in white. We got way on the left, we got the highest intent peeps. The peeps searching for, boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And when we're dealing with these types of peeps, we're making videos about BSS, or at least having these peeps come to us. And the lowest intent peeps way over on the right, we got so we talk about those peeps at our sister brand, Boudoir FB Added Doctor, where we're talking about BLCS. Currently over there, we're only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And when this happens, if we got 0 slots page 1 on Google, it means we're on page 2 or deeper. We already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. And as a result, we're invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. Our business is dying fast. Also, 1 slot page 1 Google, not good enough. That ain't good enough. It's because everyone else is going to have 1 slot on Google as well. So there's 10 organic slots. If everyone has 1 slot, guess what? We look the same as everyone else. We're not special. We're not looking special. We're not standing out. And guess what a buyer's doing? Well, guess what approximately 80% of buyers are doing? They are clicking every single boudoir photography website, filling out every contact form, getting a quote from everyone, compressing prices, negotiating, getting the best price for them, just wasting our time, waste. And dude, and then it's like, at max, we're probably bringing in 10% of the people. And so, just real big waste of time. So this means our business is also then dying slowly. Now, 0 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And so it's common and it's accepted, but it's not normal to have such a few number of links page 1 on Google search. And the 2 deeper root causes that are causing that are A, market saturation, and B, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, that's more peeps getting, over time, more and more peeps actually increasing, become boudoir photographers, get new gear, get new iPhones, get new cameras. Then they're thrown off the Google My Business profile saying they're now a boudoir photographer. They got their boudoir website saying they now shoot boudoir photography. They're posting the mom groups on Facebook saying they now do boudoir photo shoots. And more boudoir photographers over time for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every other boudoir photographer. Next, we got the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a new one. Most people don't know about this. When boudoir photographers basically kind of didn't really think about it. Just kind of automatically accepted that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google search, which is 100% incorrect. And I know that because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days. But boudoir photographers have auto-accepted this, where they actually, let's say they got their website ranked number 7 page 1, and then market saturation happens, and they actually, they're position 2 on page 2. And as a result, they kind of just accept it. They're like, well, I hope those new peeps delete their website and Google stops indexing them. So then Google can be nice and put me back on page 1. But no, that's not how it works. We can actually take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. So this leads to people not even thinking it's possible. They get more slots, so they don't even look for a solution. They've kind of broken out of that mental jail, that mental box. Now, a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Remember, 0 1 slots on page 1 is boudoir search sameness. So if they got 0 1 slots on page 1, that means they're on page 2 or deeper. Yeah, dude, their business is dying fast. Disappearing boudoir photographer, they're on page 1. They got 1 slot on page 1, their business is dying slow. Now they're being compared to, they're 1 out of 10. They're being compared to all the other boudoir photographers. Everyone else has got 1 link. And as a result, their business is dying slow. Both situations, though, a disappearing boudoir photographer, it's basically the canary in the coal mine, kind of the red flag, the flashing warning light, telling us that the boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And as a result, I mean, it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when that happens, it's kind of like we think of it as the snow on the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America. The snow on the backside of those mountains, the east side. When that snow melts, what actually happens is it flows into streams, small streams, then to small rivers, and it actually all flows into the massive Amazon River. That Amazon River, everything flows into, that's page one Google search. So, but it all starts with saturating social search, showing up there for those highest intent boudoir buyer searches on social. And when we do that, that's the snow on the top of the backside, the east side of those Andes Mountains that we need. Everything flows. Everything happens because that snow's there. Everything happens because we execute SQ methodology correctly. And what's interesting about this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that actually gives them a chance to still grow their business in the face of massive market saturation, and it gives them that opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. And that is because, well, the only other solution I've seen provide that same benefit grows in a still able to grow in a or the chance to grow in a saturating more and more saturating market is having a large well-known brand. But dude, that does not satisfy our as fast as relatively quickly criteria. It's actually you know it takes like 5 to 10 years to do that. But guess what, dude? We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here taking people's jobs right now. So we need a solution that allows us to get results or gives us a shot right now. And the interesting thing about SQ methodology is actually my estimates is as we do it, as we run it, and we're doing so much more frequency across so many different search surfaces or different surfaces, my estimate is it enables us to build a brand approximately 8x as fast as traditional methods. So it's kind of like helps us build up that brand faster. I mean, imagine if you got a large well-known brand and you're still utilizing SQ methodology. I mean, dude, you're essentially unbeatable then in your area. Now, an example for SQ methodology, right now we are heading to, all right, we are going to go to Boston, Massachusetts. And let's say there's 1 million boudoir photographers in Boston, Massachusetts. And with those 1 million boudoir photographers, we're one of them. And everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir, all competing for page one Google search. And we ain't got no large well-known brand yet. So our only chance of growing here, literally our only chance, basically we had zero chance before. But now we got one chance is to utilize SQ methodology. Dude, and let's say we do it all the way to the max, like maximum ability. Let's say we're able to take the first 300 slots of social search, and we're able to take those, and those flow onto Google page one search. And let's say we're taking the first 300 slots on Google as well for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And when we take those, we are actually, basically, we are actually that's taking the first 30 pages on Google. So essentially, a boudoir buyer would have to scroll down to page, slot 301 in social search, or would have to go to basically Google page 31 with Google search in order to basically find any of our boudoir competitors. We already know 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So who the heck's going? Dude, who is going to page 31? Basically no one. So in this scenario, whose business is still growing? Most likely ours. Whose business is dying slash becoming invisible slash declining? Most likely all of our competing 999,999 boudoir photographers because they are not utilizing S-Cube's methodology. And so this is, kind of an ultra example of what S-Cubed methodology, could allow at like the most extreme end. Now, once treated with S-Cube methodology, we now have page one visibility, P1V. Initial benefits, yeah, we get more slots, page one Google search. And every new slot we get, page one on Google search, we are actually kicking another boudoir photographer, competing boudoir photographer in our city off of Google search. And a lot of boudoir photographers actually like this initial benefit the best. So we can actually control, literally, we can basically control who is on page one, which of our competitors are on page one of Google search for which keywords. We can relegate everyone, all those that we don't want on there, to page two or deeper if we put in the effort to get as many page one slots on Google search, as Google will give us. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And this is where the GBC universe recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one Google search, because if everyone else has one slot on page one of Google search, then what actually happens is us having 3 slots, we actually look, we're dominating them. Everyone else got one slot, and the ultra rare chance other peeps got 2 slots, then we're still dominating them as well. So 3 out of 10 slots is the minimum that GBC Universe recommends. And a boudoir photographer with BSV, boudoir search visibility, is a visible boudoir photographer. So we've got our full universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. And we finally found the solution to S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now onto my results utilizing S-cubed methodology. So I started with having 0 out of 10 slots, page one of Google search. And let's see what I got for the organic slots here after utilizing it. So we got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So during only 10 days, utilize SQ methodology, I went from 0 out of 10 slots page one Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page one on Google search, and these are the results that I got. Now we're here to the main event. We're going to see if this boudoir photography business, the local and the city search, see what's happening for BSS, boudoir search sameness, see if it's in the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one on Google. All right, so we're going to LaPorte, Texas, and Houston. All right, LaPorte, Texas. All right, let's see. All right, going to the organics. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, boom, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. All right, so we've passed the BSS threshold. We do not have BSS. Boom, we got 3. All right, we've hit the GBC recommended minimum. Boom, we got 4. And all right, we got 4 out of 10 for local search good. So we don't have any BSS. We do not have, and we are hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. All right, now I'm gonna check here. Houston, Texas. All right, let's see what we got. Nope, nope, nope. No, all right, we are not. So we are not even showing up. So we're at 0 out of 10. So local search good, we're dominating that, and do not have BSS. We reached the GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page one of Google. City search, Houston, we are not ranking at all. We got BSS for that one, and we're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page one on Google. So if you're a declining boudoir photographer, a DBP with boudoir search sameness, and you know that because you've gone and done the local searches, the city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your area, and you're saying you either had BSS for one, at least one of those searches, or you have, basically you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for at least one of those searches. So you got BSS boudoir search sameness, you're disappearing boudoir photographer, and you understand that the false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief. So we can actually take as many, as a result, we can actually take as many page one Google links as we want. And you actually are saying, wow, SQ methodology, this is the only solution for you. You've actually been waiting for something like this to be able to, get all these extra links, page one Google search, kick out your competitors, which you actually like a lot more, make them invisible, put them slot 2 and deeper. So you like those initial benefits. You understand the market saturation, yeah, more people join because of, getting new gear just over time. And also you understand that, you're understanding that AI is taking more and more people's jobs right now. And then the last time this happened, COVID, people lost their job, is still to earn money. Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with an ultra powered camera. So a ton of boudoir photographers entered the market saturation during that time period. And you're realizing, wow, that's going to happen again more and more over time. On top of people upgrading their game to become boudoir photographers, but AI is going to get better and better every single day, every single year. It's going to be taking more and more people's jobs every single day, every single year, forcing more people into the market to become boudoir photographers because everyone's got a super powered smartphone, with an ultra powered camera. So you're like, so now you're realizing, wait, it's not really about page one links. We actually need so many page one links that we fully book out page one. Then we got backlog of page one links that Google wants to put on page one, but can't because we already have too many links there. So then it starts filling out page 2, 3, and 4. Basically, you're realizing you got to actually fortify your page one position so that no current boudoir photographer can ever, basically ever has a chance to rank there. Also, no future boudoir photographer that comes after AI takes their job will ever have a chance to rank there. And you're seeing that, okay, again, S cube methodology is the only solution that can provide that benefit because, um, basically because it's the only way to get that many links out in the ecosystem. Just like the future, well, you want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible Boudoir photographer with Boudoir search visibility because you need these things on your journey to becoming the #1 Boudoir photographer in your city. And as a result, you're liking the future benefits of SQ methodology as well because you understand we're making these videos, ranking for these keywords. We're actually building these invisible thematic keyword columns kind of plugged into our brand, business name, social handles, your name, website name, website URL, all those things kind of this cluster of data, plugging in these invisible thematic keyword columns, or we're ranking for these keywords. And as a result, every day we successfully execute SQ methodology, grow these columns or add new columns, or actually increase the probability we show up here in the AI overview. Here on Google, it's the #1 most premium placement. Right at the top, cannot pay for this through ads. And in parallel, we're actually increasing the probability that AI search apps start to recommend us as well. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. These are increasing in usage every single day for search. Google standard search decreasing every single day. And last time I did AI search for boudoir photographers in a city, it recommended me 3. And I actually went to do manual, Google standard search, Facebook search for boudoir photographers in that same city. Dude, there was 60. So, if only 3 be recommended through ChatGPT, we gotta get one of these 3 slots by any means possible. And you're understanding, okay, future SQ methodology is the only thing that is going to give your business the best chance to achieve that and increase that probability as fast as possible. Second, third feature benefit, growing you to become a large, well-known brand approximately 8x faster than all these other methodologies or all these other standard solutions because we're doing much more volume spread across many more surfaces. So you like that feature benefit. You also understand that my current plan is to work with 1 boudoir photographer per city. So you like that. You can get all these benefits, prevent your competitors from getting them, and build up kind of like a large competitive gap between you and them. The links on page 1 for all these keywords, and going and doing basically going and doing building that back end AI keyword mindshare kind of momentum over time for every day that SQ methodology is correctly executed. And as a result, you decide you're going to be first mover in your city without this new technology. Give yourself kind of a leg up on everyone else because the converse scenario, if one of your competing with WAF targets were to sign on with me first, then you would actually, me and your competitor would be getting all the links on page 1. You'd be booted off to page 2, 3, 4, or deeper, invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. We'd be fortifying them, so you're on page 1, so your chance to have a ranking on page 1 again decreases, every single day. And as a result, you would then actually, me and your competitor would be building up this massive back-end AI keyword kind of cloud, or back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum for the highest intent keywords, so they can be recommended in AI overview and AI search apps, and that gap would get bigger every single day. And for you to compete, what you actually have to do is rederive S-cubed methodology on your own, but you would never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly, and you would also have to then execute it equivalent to us every single day. And if you were to do all that, you would actually be maintaining the gap me and your competitor had already built up ahead of you. So you'd never actually make any progress towards closing that gap. So in order to close that gap, you'd actually have to increase, 2 to 3x our output. And, since you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly in the first place, it's hard for you to even put in that time to 2 to 3x our output. And then you're looking like, dude, who's even got 80 hours a day to do all this stuff? So you've decided, screw all that. You decided you'd rather be the first mover in your city and not deal with missing out on this, making sure a competitor doesn't get it. And so, if that's you, shoot us a DM. The hospital is currently closed for new patient intake, but if you, but when we open the hospital for new patient intake, you can DM us then. Even if you find somebody to contact us now, nope, we ain't working with you. So DM us once the hospital opens for new patient intake, and then we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.